All right, guys. So I just seen Jake Paul versus Ben Askren, and well, what can I say? Jake Paul wins via first round knockout. I think it was a right hand that he threw across against Ben Askren. So I feel bad for Ben Askren because he's basically this is like the definition of like the laughing stock. He was a laughing stock when he was fighting in the UFC. He was losing to everybody in the UFC. Um, People were calling him basically a hype job in the UFC, a bum in the UFC, as Jorge Masvidal called him a bum. And now he fights YouTube sensation Jake Paul, and he gets knocked the fuck out. It was a right hand. I just saw the replay. Jake Paul threw a 1-2, a 1, and then he followed up with a right hand and knocked down Ben Askren. And it was a hard punch. Like, he got up, but the referee waved it off. I guess the referee felt that he was not capable of standing up. But Jake Paul. Ben Askren is a guy who used to fight at 170. And in this fight, he was fighting Jake Paul, who's like 6'1", and he was fighting him at cruiserweight. So just keep that in mind. He moved up 20 pounds. He looked fat as hell. He looked like he wasn't taking this fight seriously. Jake Paul, Jake Paul was taking this fight seriously because when he fought, you could tell he was taking it seriously, and the way he celebrated after he knocked out, you could tell. A lot of people make fun of Jake Paul and they act like this is a joke and everything, but you could tell that Jake Paul takes boxing seriously. You could tell like he really is trying to do something in boxing. So congrats to him. You can't hate on Jake Paul because this is all good for him because it's giving boxing light and stuff. I feel bad for Ben Askren though, because Ben Askren is now gonna be the ultimate laughing stock. But hey, at least he got paid 500K, right? He got paid 500K for this. But yeah, now this is definitely gonna be like and people are gonna be making memes and everything on Ben Askren, but what I want to see is I want to see Jake Paul in there with an actual fighter, if he continues to box, an actual fighter who's actually, active. Not some like NBA star like Nate Robinson, who's obviously not a fighter, or even Ben Askren. Although he was a fighter, obviously Ben Askren is not a boxer. He's a MMA fighter. He's not a boxer, right? So his whole thing is to be grappling people. He doesn't use his fists, right? He's never been known as a striker, even when he was in the UFC. I'm upset because I could have made a lot of money betting on this. I was thinking of doing it. I was like, man, I should bet on this. I should bet on Jake Paul to win via knockout, and I would have made dough. But I didn't do it because I was like, oh, Ben Askren is a fighter. Maybe he could do something. But I was wrong. So I'm not gonna hate on Jake Paul. I think this was entertaining. Although the whole card was like trash and it was weird. And yeah, I've never seen a card like this. They were like, it was a weird thing. They were laughing and shit. But still, it was a weird card. But it's still good for boxing, obviously. And Ben Askren just left. He looked embarrassed. But yeah, that's all I have to say, guys. It was fun. And that's